Hey y'all. Hey. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in every Tuesday with me. This Tuesday is obviously no different, but we have a wonderful show today. I'm so excited. I love money. I love talking about money, so I can't wait for you guys to jump in on this discussion. I am going to wait till a few more people join. Because, I like to wait till everybody's here so we can talk and stuff. So you guys are filing in. You guys know the routine. Drop something in my comment section that you're grateful for. I want to tell you what I'm grateful for. What am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for today? I'm grateful today just for life. So you guys are just joining. Drop in my comment section something that you're grateful for. That's how we start off every show. It's how I end every show. It's important to, to remember the things that you're grateful and you're thankful for, because oftentimes we're just asking, our provider for things that we want and not taking advantage of the things that we already have. So drop in my comment section something you're grateful for, guys. Let's see here. And our special guest today has already joined, so we are going to get this started in just one moment here. Not sure what that is, but okay, let's get this 40 sorty on. Let's see. Here we go. That's weird. I don't know, sometimes Instagrams, guys. So our special guest shall be joining us briefly. Make sure you guys drop in my comment section something that you're grateful for. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I cannot complain.
Oh,
thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining. Like I said, I'm so happy you got to talk to us today. I think a lot of people do need to hear this. I think a lot of people are scared to talk about money. So I'm glad we're going to get to have this conversation. But the ritual is when you join the show, you got to tell us something that you're grateful for.
Okay. I'm just grateful to be able to help people. I think right now a lot of people are, going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I'm grateful to, be able to use my platform to give any advice, whether it's about investing, just about career development, just any mentorship, anything. I'm just grateful to be able to give back in any way I can.
Great. I love that. Someone said I'm grateful for my support system. I'm gonna have to second that grateful one, because I'm definitely grateful for my team.
Hey, Leah.
Oh, we got some friends in the comment section, y'all. So let's jump right into it. So I'm gonna give our audience a little background on who you are and what exactly it is that you do.
Okay. So my name is Armand. I work in the banking industry, so I have a accounting background. So I do have an investment club called the Cash Lineals. I think that they just joined. So hey guys. So I started this club with 3 other college friends. All of us, were accounting majors. We actually came together 2 years ago to build this dream of building our investment club, because there weren't a lot of Black people who had investment clubs. You only heard that it was, kind of a white thing. It's like you said, it's a taboo about money.
Yeah.
But we came together. We wanted to show that we can have group economics in our communities. And the fact is that we feel that's a big thing, especially now within the last 2 years. I feel like there's been a kind of a resurgence and renaissance among our community, just to invest their money in different things, such as the stock market, different commodities, anything that's an asset that can make you money.
Dope.
So that's me.
I love that. So we're definitely gonna touch on like some group economics, because we'll talk about that later and all that. Okay. So the biggest thing I think that a lot of people face is saving money. Where to save it, how to save it. So I feel like this is such a basic question, but how should people be saving money? I'm 26, so how should an average 26-year-old be saving their money, or when should they be saving their money?
Great question. So it all depends on your situation. I know people who have, one who live by themselves, who live with their partner, who are married, people who have children, different things that you have to take into consideration. So it's actually interesting because I entered a contest with the Money Manual a couple of months ago, and they asked about what would be your best comment for people to deal with saving during COVID-19. And my response was that, people need to create a budget of the necessities that they need, and then include maybe a non-negotiable in their budget of something that you don't want to give up during COVID, and then all the other things that you could kind of eliminate. So making a list, I'm a visual learner, so seeing things on paper, and then you kind of be like, okay, well, I don't really use this subscription as much as I thought I did, so I can easily cut that out and save a lot of money.
Right.
But just look at, what are you spending money on? I know a lot of people just swipe their cards very often, so you definitely want to pay attention to what you're spending on. There are a lot of good apps out there that can actually help you with monitoring exactly where you spend your money based on a category. Mint, I think, is a good start for people just to visually see kind of where they're spending money, whether they're going out to eat often, whether they're shopping a lot, or anything of that nature. But it all depends on, I just say, create a budget, write down your necessities, make a list of your things that you like to do, and then maybe keep one or two things that you like to do and try to see if you can eliminate the rest.
Okay, I like that. I think a budget is a really good idea. I think that so many Black people grew up in almost, in poor homes. I'm gonna say poor. I can't think of a better word, but less wealthy homes. So a budget always sounded really bad, and a lot of people never understand how important a budget is and how you can really save money by sticking to a budget. So a lot of times, people that want to save, we always hear a lot about an emergency fund. What is it? What exactly is an emergency fund, and how much money should the average person have in an emergency fund?
Okay. So emergency fund is pretty much a pool of money that you have in case of if you lose a job, if you had a medical expense or car maintenance issues.
That's
Those
one.
are some of the or even if you have a house, if you have like a furnace that goes out, just making sure that you have cash, what we call cash reserves on hand in case of you need access to liquid money quickly. I know that there's the Dave Ramsey. I don't know if people have heard of him.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big Dave Ramsey fan, but it's okay. It's okay. But he says to start out with 3 months worth of savings in your emergency fund. I think that people should try to get up to a year if they can, just with kind of how things are going now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At the end of the day, people are going to really need to have access to their money during this time. So I would recommend at least 6 months, but if you can go up to 6 to a year, I would definitely encourage you to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I usually actually see the opposite. I usually see an emergency fund is at least 1,000, and then I guess maybe your savings should be up to like 6 months to or 3 to 6 months up to your expenses. So would you not say just completely skip the 1,000 and go straight to just trying to get at least 6 months of your bills?
No, I wouldn't say skip it. I think, everybody's building. So if you're starting from square one, I think, you want to build the foundation. So let's say you saved up to $1,000. Now let's try to get to $2,000.
Right.
If you
Okay.
get to
Makes
2,000, let's get to four. Yep.
Okay, I like that. So, a lot of people typically go into a bank or a credit union, and they want to open up a savings account. Before we even get into just really what your savings account looks like and how you can accrue interest in that, which one do you think is best between a credit union and a bank?
Okay. Good question. So that's a really good question. So with banks, because I work for a bank.
Oh,
I think it all depends on, I guess, from the outside perspective of what you're using your account for.
okay.
So if you're looking for possibly a house, trying to obtain a mortgage, I would probably recommend a credit union. Um, Typically, credit unions, you have some stake of being a shareholder with investing your money into their account. It's a local organization that's either, citywide or regionally. So you're supporting, your local business. Banks are great. I mean, obviously for accessibility, I think going, traveling for sure, having access to ATMs to not receive any additional fees. I have both. I think they're useful. I think you all just have to understand how to leverage either one. But I would definitely say credit unions, I would give them the edge over banks.
Yeah, team credit union. Okay, so when you talk about savings account, I know a lot of people typically I don't hear many people actually push for their own adult savings account. I usually hear like when I have a kid, I'm gonna open up a savings account. So I know that the interest rate is kind of, on average is around the same whether you go to a bank or a credit union. But can we just talk about what it's like to actually put your money into a savings account and have it accrue that interest?
Okay. Yeah, so currently right now, interest rates suck just because of the state of the economy, state of the economy. I would also say you can probably get a little more value out of the credit union. I think just for the fact once the economy probably stabilizes and gets back to its normalcy, I'll say, I think that credit unions will definitely have a good opportunity, as well as banks, to make the jump. I know that kind of my CEO of Chase, he's went through the financial crisis. So he's one of the people who our other bank leaders are looking to get guidance on how to navigate a catastrophe within our industry. So I think either or can be good for people. Just it just depends on making sure what's right for you.
Okay, I like that. So I don't put my financial business out there. Okay, but you put your processes. A lot of people are interested in saving money. Oh wait, let's see. Okay, there we go.
I'm
You paused
back.
for a minute there. Okay, so
Yeah.
a good method to saving money is putting your money into a savings account and having it to accrue that interest. How on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of an idea is that to do with money that you may have?
I think it's a great idea. You put it somewhere. They also have online high yield savings accounts, such as like an Ally account, Marcus. So that's money that you'll have to go in. You can transfer money to those accounts, but you'll have to transfer it back. It may take minimum 24 hours to transfer, maybe a little longer. I think that's really a good account to have just to make sure you aren't always dabbling in your savings all the time. A savings account you want to see grow over time. You don't want to always withdraw. There are also regulatory laws that if you have over six withdrawals, your account, you'll get notified from the government of receiving notices that you have withdrawn too much from your account. So you might get a monthly fee or a fee assessed to your account. And if you do that enough times, they will dissolve your savings account and roll your money into a checking account that you already
Yeah,
have.
I learned that the hard way with Chase. So I did learn that.
Oh
Okay,
my,
so
okay.
so let's talk about you getting it. So you have a savings. You may choose a credit union. Um, a lot of times I hear even people like Dave Ramsey that you just don't want your money to sit there. You want to put it places that you can have your money work for you. So one of those instances is putting it into a savings account that will accrue interest over time. What are some other methods that people can use to just, some people oftentimes just have money sitting there and it can be doing more for them outside of investments or maybe just that savings account? Are there any other ways that people can just take that um, excess money and put it somewhere so that they can get more out of it?
Yeah. So there are other assets. I think first, real estate is a huge avenue to buy properties, whether they're a single family, a duplex, triplex, fourplex, or a commercial property. You get, tenants to come in, they pay their rent per month. That'll build your cash flow. There's other things such as trading sports cards, buying cards and flipping. You can also buy metals. Gold and silver are always going to be around and always going to be hot commodities. Uh, any collectibles. I know everybody talks about the Birkin bags. Birkin bags have a lot of value, and
They
they do
do.
resell great. So you definitely want to make sure anything that has good appreciation. It could be a Rolex, any jewelry, any clothing or bags, like I said. But there are so many ways of investing your money. You can flip different things. You can flip boats, anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I know that.
you can sell things and you can flip them really quickly. If you know how to sell stuff, you can make a nice amount of money on the side.
Oh, I didn't know about the boats, but that I do definitely agree with you there. I like that. Okay. So you kind of touched a little bit there on investments and in real estate. Um, let's see. How much knowledge do you have about people who's trying to and kind of, I guess, enter the real estate industry?
I have a little bit. So I've learned a lot about my family, that they were involved in real estate for a good amount of time. They didn't really pass that information down to the next generation, but that's okay. Um, so I know now, just I'm trying to connect with different people just to learn more about real estate. I did live in Detroit for 3 years, so that taught me a lot just about real estate. That kind of got me exposed to just kind of seeing, okay, this area is, being gentrified, or this area is being, a lot of money is being invested here. So how can I, get in position to learn how to acquire properties? Obviously you have to go through the whole homeowner process. You have to get your inspecting, the appraisal, all that good stuff, to get in that realm. But there are a lot of people, and there's different opportunities within real estate that people don't know about. Everyone thinks that they just have to own a house. There are people who
Yeah,
perform home inspections. There's contractors, all types of people. Just make sure whatever you do, make sure you're doing honest work and that you're good at what you do.
I definitely agree with that. Especially when you're working with the public, you don't want to be doing shady business, and you're working with the public
Of
because
course.
eventually your karma will come. Now, how it comes up, that's on whoever serves karma. REITs. Maybe I said it wrong. What
It's rates.
REITs? Okay, I just want to make sure I said it right. Okay, so what exactly are REITs?
Yeah, so REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. I got to get that. I know what that is. That's REITs. So REITs are it's a type of what's called an exchange traded fund, which works in real estate. So how a ETF for a stock, let's say, I don't know, the S&P 500, it's a collection of companies that are in this one fund. And so
Okay.
people invest in that as a safe investment. So, for example, there is a REIT for Simon. Simon used to be a mall. They're the owners of different malls across the country. So they own the real estate, the actual buildings that they're in.
Okay.
So tenants who are coming in, they're coming out. Any buildings that you see around, like if you see a Walgreens, Rite Aid, McDonald's, anything like that, they either own their building, or typically they franchise, but someone owns those buildings, so they lease those out to people.
Oh.
So you can gain dividends off of those. So those are safe investments, that a
Okay.
lot of people can look into. So pay attention to like a lot of the brick and mortar industries that are kind of being hit. But although some are being hit, some are growing. Amazon is an example.
They make bank. I'm scared of Amazon. All right. They I'm
Ain't nothing to be scared of
Amazon.
Amazon.
They don't play. Amazon did not. I like to, when I think of like heavy hitters, just across different industries, I always kind of rate them into like a Beyonce or a McDonald's or a Walmart. And Amazon is
Mhm.
clearly on top of the virtual game. They are literally the Walmart and the Beyonce of like the internet. That is when I rank people and I look at who they are the top of the game. And they never come to play. They are literally popping up warehouses everywhere. So
Yes.
I'm scared of
Yes.
Amazon because they ain't nothing to play with. But since we've already kind of touched into investing, they said one of the easiest ways to get into investing Oh, so are REITs the easiest way to get into investing in real estate? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
don't want the responsibilities of real estate, like having to deal with property management, having to deal with complaints and things of that nature, you can just invest in a REIT just to make sure that, okay, well, I know Walmart or Walgreens or Rite Aid is going to be around all the time, so they're always going to be in buildings. Let me invest in a company who owns those buildings, who lease those out to those companies, and just increase your portfolio.
Okay, that makes sense. Bear with me here just one moment, guys. We're all working from home, including me. So, really cool. So sorry about that, guys. I do appreciate the patience. Like I said, we are all working from home. And, well, hello, everyone. Thanks for, oh, that's you.
It's
Okay,
all
so
good.
these are great ways and easier and safer ways to kind of kickstart jumping into investing in real estate. So I know a lot of things that people, I know I've seen a lot of people talking about options. So what exactly are trading options? Can you tell us, just like give us a little brief synopsis about what options are?
Yeah, so options are pretty much they're a risky investment. I recommend people who practice options, get into investing first. Pretty much you're entering contracts of determining the price of a stock, whether it's going to go up or down. So you're not holding for the long term. You're pretty much trying to hold based on what you think is going to happen to that stock for that particular day, whether it could be hours and whatnot. So there are stop losses where if a company decreases to a point that you don't want to go past that because you could lose a lot of money. You want to
Yeah.
take your earnings. You want to take your earnings and bounce. That's the name of options game. You want to take your money and bounce. You do not want to be greedy. You want to make sure that you're paying attention because people have a lot of automation, a lot of bots that are built into their options trading. I know it's a really big thing now. You just have to make sure that you have the stomach to weather the storm. I think a lot of people post their wins and not their losses because those losses are very scary. Personally, I don't get involved in options because I'm not really there yet. I do have an interest one day to get into options, but if anybody who's joined who has practiced options, definitely feel free to share your
Yeah,
experience.
please do.
But
That just sounds like the
but
casino to me. That sounds
but
just like the
yeah,
casino.
I know a lot of people who've made a lot of money off options with Tesla. I know a
Yeah.
podcast that I listened to, someone said they made like $40,000 off
What?
of options trade of Tesla when it was going crazy.
Wow. That is
Yeah, so
amazing. I wonder how many
yeah.
losses they took prior to that 40,000.
I think they say he had a 20K. He had a 20K loss. So he made 20K in profit. He made
Yeah,
20K in
right.
profit. So
Wow.
that's still a win.
Yeah, definitely still win. Wow, that is amazing. What? Okay. So I know we kind of jumped in a little too deep, but let's kind of just rewind it back a little bit here and just tell people kind of what stocks are. I know a lot of people hear a lot of these phrases or these terms, but they don't know much about. So what exactly are stocks and shares?
Okay. So stocks are pretty much a a way of getting into a publicly traded company. So privately traded companies do not are not listed on the New York Stock Exchange, so you cannot trade with them. So an example is that it's Chick-fil-A. I think they would do great if they were a publicly
Oh, really?
traded company. No, they're not.
I don't know.
But yeah, you can. Stocks are opportunities, shares that you can buy into a company, such as a Walmart. You can buy as many as you like based on that current price. So if Walmart is $200, you can buy one share of Walmart for $200. But for people who don't, want to invest that much or don't have it now, there are what's called fractional shares. of stocks that you can buy. So Amazon is really high, so everyone can't buy one share of Amazon, but they can buy a fractional share of Amazon and still make a nice return on the fractional share that they invested.
So how do you go about making a so okay, so let's start. So we know what stocks and shares are. What are some great apps that people can use to start investing and buying stocks and shares?
Okay. So the first one that's pretty common is Robinhood. I think Robinhood has a nice platform that lays out different information, news about companies related to different stocks, ETFs, REITs. I would say a downside with Robinhood, as we've seen a couple times this year, that their platform can crash. So there are a lot of people who wanted to get in on the Apple Tesla stock split. So a stock split is when a company has one stock. If you're a holder of one stock, let's say Apple was $400. Was going to do what's called a 4-1 split. So that one stock that you have is going to break down now into 4 shares. So they'll be worth $100 each.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're losing me. Okay, okay. So
Okay. So yeah.
instance,
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So so they do a 4-1 split. Did that person technically lose money?
They do not lose money. Just their one share that was in Apple. Now it breaks down to 4 shares.
Okay, so
So
you
they're
have more.
$100 each.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're just getting more shares. So
Okay.
stock splits usually benefit people who hold a lot of shares of a company. Because they
Right.
can
Okay.
they
There
can
we go.
buy,
You can buy and get down.
you can buy
Okay.
at $100, and so if you want to buy 4 more shares, you can do that. So now you have 8.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. I don't know how I missed that, y'all. I'm a little slow. So okay,
It's
that
all
makes sense
good.
though. Um, that makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So technically, if they do a 4-1 split and then they decide to their stock goes up, then okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got it now. Okay, okay. So besides Robinhood, what are some other great apps that entry level investors should look into when they want to decide to start investing?
Okay. So kind of talking about the fractional shares, Stockpile is a good investing platform. You can buy fractional shares of all types of stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, etc., just to build up like a mini portfolio. There's also another platform called M1 Finance that's been growing a lot over the past 6 months. So you can pretty much create what's called your own pies. And so your money, you divide it amongst your pie in different companies. And so I know some people who have had, are returning on investments of 60%, just kind of
Wow.
investing in some of the companies during COVID. So M1 Finance is a really good platform. TD Ameritrade is a good platform.
I've heard of
I
them.
think is one of the more standard platform. I use them to trade on our stocks, and the Cashlings, our investment club, just recently transferred to their platform. So it's really great.
Okay.
So and banks have their own platforms as well, but like Charles Schwab, Vanguard is another popular one.
Okay.
So there are a lot of different investing platforms that are currently available.
Okay, I like that. And in order, I know that on Robinhood, you can just enter like one share and they give you the current price. In order to buy a fractional share, would you just enter like 0.5 or something just to get the share?
Yeah, I think that you're able to enter in, 0.25 or
Okay.
anything of that nature.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's jump forward here. So you did talk a little bit about how the apps and fractional shares. What in Would you encourage that, or would you say that people should probably be investing in stocks during the pandemic? And if so, what are some good booming industries that people should be looking to?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good time to invest. I know that a lot of companies have been recently hit just amid the whole presidential election, just with the uncertainty there. I think based on kind of research that I've done, we won't really see kind of the impact from the presidential election, at least right now, until probably late January, early February, just to kind of see how the market's going to go. The stock market has been kind of the opposite of the economy. The stock market has been booming while the rest of the economy has been trash. So we're
Gotcha.
definitely going to see how that's going to go. But I would definitely encourage people just to, even if you're just trying to get your feet wet, just get started, just try it. There are platforms that do perform paper trading, so you don't have to actually use your own money. You can use fake money just to get experience, just to get comfortable seeing if, oh, I made a gain or I had a loss on a stock. So that's also another opportunity. Your second question was booming industries. So right now it's the fourth quarter. So it's Christmas time, Thanksgiving time. So obviously any companies that you plan to buy any products for your family or friends. I know the PS5 is really the hot commodity now for guys, so go get some Sony stock. For the ladies, if you would buy your man a PS5, make your money back some way
There you
somehow.
go.
Um, I would say, yeah, the electronics industry is always going to boom. I would say consumer goods, Bath and Body Works, the candle sale is going to do pretty well. Victoria's
Always do.
Secret. Um, I would say cannabis. I would recommend getting into the exchange traded funds just to make sure you have some safety there, because I know um, the government is still having some talks about potentially, making it recreational across the country. I know
Yeah.
some states have already approved the recreational use around the country, so that's a great area too. But tech is going to be around for a while. I will say that many people probably missed out on the tech boom just because of COVID, just the transition. But I would say definitely right now, electronics, consumer goods, any fashion, any food industry, the food industry as well, food and beverage. Alcohol, unfortunately, alcohol and tobacco go up during,
Ooh,
high distress times. So you can look into those as well.
they love
Um, I
being
know
drunk.
some, I know some gun stocks have went up just based on the
Okay.
ammo shortage. There's an ammo shortage, so ammo has increased. So it's just a lot of different things to look into. I know a lot of my investing experiences came from me traveling to rural areas just to see what people need to survive off of.
That
Um,
makes
so
sense.
I think that's been very helpful, just kind of going to see different cities, see what's available, and kind of understand, just looking into those companies, looking at news, looking at financial statements, looking at um, product releases and
Okay.
other factors within companies.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense that you would get a lot of investing knowledge just through travel. I didn't think about it, but it does make sense that you get a lot of knowledge there. So a big thing that I've been seeing people do is these pyramid schemes. I've been seeing these pop up left and right like
Okay.
crazy. So I really want to talk about these. And I want people to be aware of what they are and to not be fooled by these pyramid schemes. Okay. So can you tell us any pyramid schemes you've heard of, and I can tell you what I've heard, and then we can kind of break it down to our audience here.
Okay. So pyramid scheme, also known as multi-level marketing, MLM. Pretty much how it works is that someone contacts you about being interested in joining an opportunity of joining my team. You probably have to either pay your way to get into the team, or they will pay your way for you. Um, they build their team. You pretty much have to start recruiting to build your team, and so it's a trickle down effect. So that person who got you in will make a lot of money off of the work that you have done and others that you have brought in. When I was younger, I did get some recruited for some MLMs. Primerica being one of
Oh
the
my
the big
God.
ones.
Yes.
And I do know some Primerica people who killing it out there, but hey, it ain't for me. It is not for me. Um,
Gosh.
there's some energy companies I think that were out there too. Momentous, it's something when I was in college. It's crazy. But I know Forex is another one, but
We're gonna talk about that too.
that's another one. People, yeah, we could say that topic for. I'll say that topic for when you bring
No,
that
we're
up. But
gonna
yeah,
listen. We're gonna talk about it because I want to talk about that. That's why I specifically brought this up. Jesus, my stomach hurts from laughing at those people. Okay, so Primerica was a pyramid scheme that I remember, kind of being invited to. Another one was like a travel one where I don't know, you travel along or something and you bring people with you. It was amazing. It was weird. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped. Honestly, I genuinely thought that's what was gonna happen at that meeting.
oh
I
no,
left like really
that's
quick.
all bad.
So let's talk about Forex. They talk about trading currencies. Or so tell us more about what Forex is and what about it makes it a pyramid scheme.
Okay, so I'll say this about Forex. I don't know too much about Forex. I know it's one of the it's probably the oldest exchange traded markets in the world. I think, from my opinion, I think Forex can be is a good investment. I just think that how it's marketed to people is very bad. I think that it's more of a target emotional strategy that gets people to join. They ask you very persuasive questions that make you say yes. I've seen a lot of different screenshots on like Twitter, Instagram, people like, they making fun of people. They trying to make people feel bad for trying to get out of the Forex groups. You see a lot of people with platinums and golds and stuff
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I think it's cool. I'm glad to see our people making a lot of money off of Forex. I hope that people who are making that money are reinvesting that money elsewhere. I will say that a lot of Forex people are real fancy. They dress like they earnings.
They do. They definitely do.
But I've been getting followed by a lot of Forex people and they getting blocked. I don't mess with Forex people, man. They too much. They act like they know all about finance and money, and they don't know a damn thing, man. It's annoying. It is annoying. But hey, kudos to anybody who making them Forex money though. Like, to be honest, I
Okay,
mean,
so I just want to get understanding here. So is Forex a pyramid scheme or is it are they actually trading currencies? Is this like a legal job? I guess it has to be legal.
it's legal. No,
Okay.
it's actually legal. I think the marketing of Forex is horrible. That people,
Okay.
it's a turn off. It can be marketed as a pyramid scheme. If they marketed it a little differently, I think it'd be a lot better. And you can learn Forex on your own. You ain't got to pay nobody to teach you. I think a lot of people think that you always got to pay somebody to teach you how to invest and things of that nature. I think it's really important for people to have some type of knowledge of what they're doing.
Right.
Because I'm not a person who likes to put my fate in a lot of other people's hands. Because people can lead you down the wrong path and then you stuck. You done invested all this money and then they done blew all your money and now you mad.
Yeah.
So just make sure you have some type of foundational understanding of, investing, just to make sure. Udemy
is dropping gems down there. Udemy is a good place to buy an e-course about Forex trading. Well, if you guys are interested, babe, let you know. I'm glad you clarified for me because I didn't even know if it was legal or not. I just thought these were people I went to school with that were just scammers or something. And they're very emotional when they come to you and try to get you to join. And it's always like, yo, bag up. I don't want to do it. So
they almost as bad as the people in the church trying to make you come up to the altar for prayers. I'm like, man, bro, I'm cool right here. I'm working. Don't make me feel bad because I don't want to join something, man. It's okay. It's okay. I don't want our friendship to be ruined because I did not become a Forex trader.
I love that. I think that's a great comparison because geez Louise. Okay, so it actually is a legal job and they are trading currencies.
They're trading on the foreign exchange market. It's one of the oldest markets in the world. Yes.
Okay, so then I do want to talk really briefly about Bitcoin. And are you familiar with Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I'm familiar with Bitcoin. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are currently out there. Um, did you want me to kind of dive a little deeper of like my thoughts about it?
So kind of let's kind of just explain to people what Bitcoin is, and how people are essentially making money off Bitcoin.
Okay. So Bitcoin is what we would call a cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is a digital coin platform that deals with cybersecurity with money. So you want to make sure that you have a security. You want to make sure you have your passwords to your security accounts because if you do get locked out your accounts, you possibly most likely cannot get back in if you don't have them written down somewhere in a safe. So you want to make sure that you have good encryption on your coin accounts. Bitcoin, I think currently is around $9,000 per one Bitcoin. There are only a certain amount of Bitcoin that are going to be released. I don't know if they've capped out yet, but Bitcoin has had its ups and downs. I think it's been trending downward. So if you do have the cash that you want to make an investment in it, I would definitely say, hey, do your research first and then decide if you would like to do it. Always do your research, anything. But it has reached up to $23,000. I think that was about 3 years ago.
I
Um,
remember that.
so you just have to have the emotional stability to make sure that if it drops down to 3,000 or 10,000,
That's
what are you gonna do? But for people who don't have Bitcoin, like myself, if it goes down to 3,000, I might get it just to say, hey, all right, I got it, and hopefully it goes up. So,
There you go.
mhm.
Okay, I like that. I had another question I want. Oh, so in rewinding back here, we did talk, just touch a little bit on investing in precious metals. So gold and silver. I know a lot of times I know there are companies that sell gold and silver that people can invest in on Robinhood. What would you recommend people invest in when it comes to precious metals? Should they just invest in the stock, or should they actually go out and buy the precious metal itself and invest in it that way?
I say both. I say get both. I think having other assets, you can actually see the amount of ounces if you buy actually gold or silver. There are websites out there. So if you have actual plates of metal, silver, you have them on hand and you can go to a jeweler or a watch place and sell them. Hopefully they'll appreciate in value. So you can just kind of build your portfolio that way. I think either or is great. I think maybe if people want to have more of a tangible item, actually buy gold plates or silver plates, ounces, and kind of go from there.
Okay, perfect. I like that. So, if you guys have any questions for Armand, feel free to drop them in our comment section. We can go over any questions. So let's see here. Okay, I think I'm just getting notifications really late here. Okay, yeah. So, but we're gonna wrap it up, Armand. I definitely want to thank you for joining and dropping all this knowledge. I know that people are, like we said, they're scared to talk about money, and that's the very last thing we need to talk about. That's one of we need to be discussing money and how to save it and make it work for us. So before we wrap it up, before you exit, you got to come in the same way you left. What is something that you're grateful for?
Hold on, my phone was just breaking up. I had a call that came in. I had to decline it. I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
So when you leave, well, when we wrap up the show, before you leave, you got to give us something else that you're grateful for. So what's something that you're grateful for?
Okay. I'm grateful for being on the show. I'm glad to have been able to, be interviewed by you, share some knowledge with some people who I know, some people who I don't know. I'm just also I'm grateful to be alive.
I
I
like
think
that.
that's one of the best things right now. As we're approaching Thanksgiving, I know that there are a lot of people who have big families and don't know how they're going to manage without being in one place. So just make sure that you stay engaged, use technology, share your favorite Thanksgiving memories.
I love that.
You can cook, you can cook together, um, eat together, do whatever makes you feel that intimate setting with your families and friends.
I love that. I love that. Well, again, thank you, Armand, for joining. Thank you guys for joining us this Tuesday as well. I love when my audience comes out. You guys just so show so much support. I can't even talk. But as always, well, before I go, I give you something I'm grateful for. Um, and I'm grateful that my son just started playing that music in the background, and now he's playing a That's genuinely what I'm just grateful for right now.
He wants you to come play with him.
Right? I think that's what this is about now. So, as always, you guys, thank you for joining this Tuesday, and we'll be back next Tuesday, so make sure you guys tune in there as well. My name is Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk, you guys, and this ain't a podcast. You guys have a good evening. Thanks for joining. Armand.
All right, thank you, too. Have a good one.
Try everything. You can try everything in this